start with a few tarot. And I want to keep this kind of short, so we'll get 2 tarot cards. Oh my God. First card, King of Cups. Oh boy. 9 of Swords. One more. Okay, 8 of Wands. And what is the 8 of Wands going towards? Ace of Cups. Listen, you guys, if you're in love with somebody, you probably need to tell them. Must we make it complicated? Here's the, just keeping it straight. That goes for any party here. Not just if you're a man, but just in general. Like, do you need to share your feelings? Because this is anxiety of not saying what's actually on your heart. Because the King of Cups is someone upright, when it's upright and not in the shadow. This is somebody who's very emotionally in tune, psychic, compassionate, loving, deeply, like, intimate type of person, you know? Very emotionally attuned. But there's a lot of anxiety showing up. But 8 of Wands moving to the Ace of Cups is like a quick movement, an opening that's leading to an emotional offer, a new beginning, an expression of love. It's a seed, you know, it's a small thing. It's the first card of 10. So obviously it's a starting point. It doesn't mean you're like, oh my God, you want to marry me? But it's maybe like, hey, by the way, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm genuinely feeling, or this is what's going on right now. The reason I've been so anxious is because XYZ or whatever. Because underneath the deck, we're getting that watching energy, that Page of Swords, and then the World, which is the end of a cycle. Even the Devil reversed is a liberation. This is like a freeing yourself from some pattern of maybe holding back. Let's get some Oracle cards. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get from the Pleasure Oracle first. Let's pull one on each. Yeah, this feels so straightforward, you guys. The door is open. Like, if you're feeling, again, King of Cups upright, whatever gender you are. This is a person who can accurately sense and feel what's going on. Like, your intuition is correct. You might be making assumptions. You might be, like, your fears and your insecurities are probably influencing you too heavily right now. But sometimes when you hold back for too long, you start creating scenarios in your head that aren't true. You might start thinking things that aren't true, or assuming things and making assumptions about people that aren't true either. You know, have you ever met someone who's like, you get into this pattern with somebody and then you're both like hyper vigilant and you're looking for what's going wrong, but things might not be going wrong, or like you just assume like, oh, that person's dating someone else, oh, they've moved on, oh, they're gonna do this and that, oh, they're gonna betray me. How do you know that's true if you don't talk about it? Maybe you need to be vulnerable, open up, but I feel what's in your heart is accurate. It's accurate. Very likely accurate from what I'm seeing here. So let's just get one of these. On King of Cups, we're getting Holy Fire reversed. Interesting, because this card came up in my last reading upright. On the 9 of Swords, we're getting, are these all reversed? Hold up. Oh, JK. The whole deck is upside down. Just kidding. Okay, so never mind. Since they're not mixed up, I'm gonna say these are upright. So we're getting Holy Fire. I mean, this one kind of came out reversed, so I feel like I'm gonna put it halfway. The next one we're getting is Sexual Healing. LOL, because I just before this video recorded a video on sacred sexuality. So like I said, sometimes if you've had a lot of fears or insecurities around your sexual energy, or like sometimes people have acted poorly in the past, or like used their sexual energy, misused it, and then they assume that everyone else is doing that, and it's not true. Like, have you ever noticed how when if somebody's like cheated or been like has like pathologically cheated, and then they like sort of have this secret assumption that other people are always doing that too, but that's not necessarily true. And again, no judgments. Like, we've all done things that we wish we didn't do in the past, but in this case, it's like, that's just what I'm feeling. It's like a projection happening around your sexual energy. Maybe, again, assuming other people are misusing their sexual energy, or some type of insecurity around that, or shame or something that would probably get cleared up with a conversation, like a heart-to-heart. But there's obviously some healing that needs to happen there. And then in this last section, we're getting divine imperfection. it's almost like nobody's perfect. Like if you're feeling like other people aren't going to love and accept you because you feel imperfect, like that's also not true. That's another insecurity. It's another projection. We've all been through it, you know. Deep intimacy is really vulnerable. It's very exposing. And so it's going to bring up all your shadows, and your shadows are going to be the things about yourself that you judge and criticize. But you'll be shocked and amazed. The more that you can accept yourself, the more that you're going to attract people who accept you the way that you are. It doesn't mean we don't need to grow. It doesn't mean that we don't need to adjust some of our behavior. It just means you don't need to be perfect to be loved. I love this is under the deck, Sweetest Taboo. One of my fave Sade songs. Hold on, I can't read this. It says, who taught you to be ashamed of your own lust? Who told you that there was something dirty about your secret fantasies? It says, few of us have cultivated the boldness necessary to embrace what we deem taboo in ourselves. Many of us don't even know what we want or our proclivities. We've never explored our sexuality enough to discover them. This is a pleasure oracle, so it's relating around sexual energy, but just think about it. Like, sweetest taboo, what I was just saying, your quote-unquote imperfections are just projections. It says, stepping into a truly holistic form of self-love means glimpsing the bigger picture and embracing it all. Identify your suppressed parts and make friends with them. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how you start to really learn to love and receive unconditional love. Both give it and receive it. You've got to start to clear out the parts of yourself and bring them into the light that you're ashamed of, or that you repress or suppress or criticize. Because otherwise you're making assumptions that everyone in the world is judging that stuff about you. But like, a lot of people aren't going to care. They're just going to love you anyway. My God, I've met some people that have loved the most dysfunctional people in the world, and they're like ride or die to that person. And I'm like, imagine if you loved yourself as much as you love that person who's like ignored you or something. Again, we've all been there, but I'm just saying, imagine how much grace you've given someone that you really loved, but you think that you can't receive it in return. Why? Why? So holy fire, I kind of, like I said, put it sideways, but it says connecting with our life force means shifting attention away from the mind and into the body. Please, you guys, watch the video I did on sacred sexuality. This is what I was talking about. In tantric practices, our creative sexual energy emanates from our lower chakras, especially the second in the lower belly and pelvis. Heating up this area through breathing, like breath of fire or other breathing and movement exercises, requires an awareness and a willingness to renounce the supremacy of neck up logic. And I say it all the time, a lot of people live from the neck up. They're intellectualizing everything, they're stuck in their head, and so much healing, quote unquote, or transformation would happen if you could just get out of your overthinking mind, which is right here with sexual healing, and start to drop into your body, but also perhaps instead of overanalyzing and going over and over and over something in your head, you just need to have a conversation. You guys, so much can be cleared up with a conversation, an open one. I get it. If there's a lot of water under the bridge, or you have a lot of, like, I don't know what this is about, history, issues, things that you're afraid are going to come into the light, again, things that you're ashamed or afraid that other people are going to know about you, but it's like you're making it way bigger than it really is. And the more you amplify your anxiety, the more you assume that it's going to turn out badly. But it's like, whoa, I just want to say, this is going to turn out probably way better than you think. These are so positive. 8 of Wands to the Ace of Cups. It's so positive, but you have to take that risk of like exposing the parts, like your vulnerability, maybe in a situation where you'd rather not, or maybe you wish that person would come to you first, but maybe it's your turn to open up, you know, maybe. So let's just get one oracle card here. I'm keeping this one simple. Let's just see if there's anything on this other card that I missed. Yeah, it does say with sexual healing, to be embodied is to be pure animal, because animals don't know sin, right? Quote unquote. They're all sensation and presence. And it says, trauma also lives in the body, but so do endless wells of strength, joy, and deep satisfaction. In your pleasure lies the potential for deep healing. This healing is your birthright. Like I said, if you found me, you're in the right place, because this is a core part of my practice, of my business, of what I do with my clients. So let's get one more card to finish. One more oracle card. God, this feels so straightforward today. let's not complicate things. All right, one oracle card, Spirit, what do we need to know? Yeah, Kali in the reverse. It's time to be the truth of who I am. But she's coming reverse because that's what you need to do. It says, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. So any resistance to being the truth of who you fully are and owning the shadow parts as much as you own the light, that's going to start to bring the love or the connection into manifestation that you're desiring. That's what I'm feeling here. This does feel relationship related. But it's like that piece of it is really important, to not deny or hide the parts of you that you're judging and criticizing. Because if you start to really accept those parts of you, other people will too. I'm living proof. I've experienced this, you guys, firsthand. And I have dealt with people and am dealing with people who have a lot of baggage, and it's okay. Like, and so what, like, stop judging people's baggage. What if that's their soul's plan? They've got to come in and experience some heavy shit or go through some really difficult things. Or again, if it's around sexual healing, maybe they've got to go through a lot of distortion and murkiness and troublesome stuff in order to find the light. And so stop playing God. People have to have certain experience. Like, I wouldn't be able to help people with this sexual healing if I hadn't gone through pain, betrayal, loss, quote unquote abandonment. We'll just call it that, even though as an adult you really cannot be children can be abandoned because they don't know how to show up for themselves. But adults can only self-abandon, honestly, because at that point, once you're an adult, you can take care of your needs. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt when people leave, but it's like, you're not a child anymore. And so only you can self-abandon. Do you know what I mean? So I think that this happens a lot where people are super judgmental and critical of people that have experienced difficulties with their sexual energy. And they have this huge narrative about it. And it's like, chill out. Like, you don't know why people have to go through what, it's like saying that people who cheat can't change. That is bullshit. I've been that person. I've changed. You can change. You can transform, you guys. You can heal. You can not be the person that you were 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. You can evolve. 100% people can change. But if you're not changing, then the people in your world probably aren't either. And so you're assuming that people don't change. No, do your part and people can change. But like, that's really that irks me when people are like, especially when they talk about infidelity, where they're like, oh, once a cheater, always a cheater. You guys, that's bullshit. Yes, a lot of people don't choose to heal, but people can change. You might need to experience that so that you know how to love someone unconditionally. Maybe you need to be betrayed to stop betraying people. Maybe you need to be in a shitty relationship so that you can learn what a healthy relationship is like. Maybe you need to be in a relationship where you don't really love each other so that you know what real love feels like. That's it, you guys. I'm keeping this one straight and to the point. So if you want a personal reading, if this is resonating and you're like, oh shit, book a 90-minute intuitive session below. We can get into your individual stuff, what's going on with you. I also send a follow-up email with resources to use afterwards, like guided meditations and things specifically for wherever you're at on your path. Otherwise, everything else is in the links below. And if you're interested, especially around sexual healing, and you're a woman, and that path really resonates around sacred sexuality and union, the waitlist is open for Magdalene Mysteries, which is a year-long, 12-month journey, Tantric Alchemy experience for women on the path of union. All the details are there. The waitlist is open now because there are very limited spaces. It's going to be like 8 to 10 max women. We're looking to start winter 2025, so after the holidays are over, probably January, later in January. And then applications will open like towards the end of this year, probably in late November. So you want to be on the wait list so that you can be the first notified to fill out an application, because then spots are limited. So all the details for that are on the Magdalene Mysteries page. That's it, you guys. I love you. I will see you in the next one.